December 19th, 1944. Just after 6 in the morning, near the village of Neuville, Belgium, German tank commander Klaus Wendell sat inside the turret of his Panther tank, trying to write through frozen gloves. The interior was cramped, his breath fogging the glass. "The Americans have a new hunter," he wrote. "We hear them, but never see them." The day before, 3 of his unit's Tigers had been destroyed by something moving too fast to target. By the time they rotated their turrets, the threat was gone. What Wendell didn't know was that hidden in the snow-covered woods was a new kind of weapon. The M18 Hellcat, America's fastest and most dangerous tank destroyer. In just 17 minutes, Wendell's entire belief in German armored superiority would be shattered by a vehicle that weighed half as much as his Panther, had almost no armor, and could move at speeds German tanks couldn't reach even on roads. While the German army had spent years perfecting armored warfare around heavy tanks, massive machines like the 45-ton Panther or the nearly 70-ton King Tiger, American engineers had taken a radically different approach. Instead of building tanks that could outgun the enemy, they built one that could outrun the enemy. The M18 Hellcat was never meant to take a hit. It was designed to never be hit at all. In late 1941, just as the U.S. entered World War II, General Leslie McNair introduced a new doctrine. Tank destroyer battalions would be fast-moving hunters designed to take out enemy tanks by surprise. The motto was simple: seek, strike, and destroy. And by 1944, the M18 Hellcat would become the perfect weapon for that mission. Buick, the car company, was assigned to build this revolutionary vehicle. The result was a machine that broke every rule of tank design. The Hellcat armor was thin, just 12.7 to 25 millimeters thick, barely enough to stop machine gun fire. Any German tank shell would go straight through it, but it could hit 55 miles per hour, faster than any tracked vehicle of the entire war. The Germans couldn't believe it. A Panther's top speed was around 34 miles per hour on roads, and much less off-road. But the Hellcat could hit 30 miles per hour in just 7 seconds and sustain 26 miles per hour cross-country. That meant the time it took a German tank crew to spot a Hellcat, rotate the turret, aim, and fire, the Hellcat had already vanished. And while it lacked armor, it didn't lack firepower. Its 76 millimeters gun couldn't penetrate a Panther's front plate with standard rounds. But from the side or rear, it could destroy any tank Germany fielded. Special high-velocity HV-8B rounds could even penetrate frontal armor at close range, though these were in short supply. But that didn't matter. The Hellcat wasn't built for direct confrontations. It was built to outmaneuver, flank, and destroy fast. Training matched the vehicle. At Camp Hood, Texas, tank destroyer crews learned to move constantly. Fire, relocate, fire again, never sit still, never fight fair. Unlike German doctrine, which emphasized static, methodical engagements, Hellcat crews relied on speed, stealth, and surprise. Their motto? Speed is life. The M18 first saw combat in Italy, but it was during the breakout from Normandy and the Battle of Bulge that it proved just how deadly it could be. In July 1944, German units reported engagements with fast-moving American tank destroyers that struck from nowhere and disappeared before a single return shot could be fired. Engagements lasted 3 minutes or less. In combat, 3 minutes is a blink. By December, the Hellcat was everywhere. In the frozen forests of the Ardennes, during the Battle of the Bulge, the M18 faced off against the best of Germany's panzer divisions. Near Bastogne, the 75th and 609th Tank Destroyer Battalions used Hellcats to ambush German tanks. In one action near Neuville, for M18s destroyed 14 German tanks and only lost one of their own. Over 2 days, the 75th helped delay an entire German division, killing more than 30 tanks and hundreds of infantry. The Hellcat's lightweight also gave it strategic mobility. It could cross bridges that German Tigers couldn't even approach. It could move through mud and snow that immobilized the 70-ton King Tiger. When weather grounded aircraft and fog limited visibility, the Hellcat came alive. German tanks, built for open-field gunnery, were helpless in the forested chaos of the Ardennes. Hellcats thrived in it, and it wasn't just Bastogne. In September 1944, at the Battle of Ericourt, a platoon of Hellcats destroyed nearly 40 German tanks for just a handful of losses. In the Ruhr Pocket in early 1945, they raced at highway speeds past collapsing German lines, taking out stragglers and armored reinforcements before they could even react. By the war's end, M18 units had racked up 526 confirmed kills against just 216 combat losses. That's a 2.4 to 1 kill ratio, the highest of any American armored vehicle of the war. Some units, like the 601st Tank Destroyer Battalion, achieved kill ratios as high as 23 to 1. But maybe the most telling detail of all, Germany only ever built about 6,000 Panthers, fewer than 500 King Tigers. Meanwhile, the U.S. built all 2,507 M18 Hellcats in just 15 months using mass production techniques. While German engineers labored over perfection, Americans built a practical, fast, deadly tool. The Hellcat wasn't perfect. Its armor was paper-thin. If it got hit, it often meant the end. But that weakness forced better tactics, better teamwork. Hellcat crews moved fast, communicated well, and struck from where they weren't expected. Their speed wasn't just a stat. It was survival. Even post-war, its legacy continued. Military doctrine evolved to favor mobility and maneuverability. Shoot-and-scoot tactics, flanking attacks, rapid displacement. All of it echoes the Hellcat's battlefield philosophy. At Fort Moore, formerly Fort Benning, an M18 stands today, commemorated as the fastest tracked fighting vehicle of World War II, and a symbol of how innovation, training, and smart tactics can beat raw firepower. For German tank crews in 1944 and 45, the Hellcat was a nightmare. You had 3 minutes. 3 minutes from the first distant engine noise to the moment your tank caught fire. 3 minutes to spot, aim, and fire against a ghost moving 55 miles per hour and vanishing into the woods. Because in armored warfare, speed doesn't just kill, it survives. The M18 Hellcat wasn't the biggest, strongest, or most armored tank on the battlefield, but it was the right weapon for the war it fought. A war where speed, surprise, and training turned paper-thin armor into steel-hard advantage. And for those German crews left staring at burning wrecks, it taught a final lesson. Sometimes the deadliest weapon isn't the biggest gun. Sometimes it's the one that hits you first and disappears before you can shoot back.